Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be working here on my lifted Mitsubishi Delica. There's three things I've been wanting to do for a while, and as of yesterday the last piece came in the mail so we can take it on. I live here on Vancouver Island, and when I bought this thing was for sale in Vancouver. So I only had a few pictures to work with, but the first thing I noticed when I walked up to this van was the rusty running boards here on the side. And my eyes go to it every time I walk up to it, and it drives me absolutely insane. So we're going to take care of that problem today. We're going to take these off, get all the rust off, and give it a nice fresh coat of black paint. And if you can see in the corner of the camera, the fiberglass here is chipped away. And that's when I'm in reverse and I have to turn sharp, it catches and has pulled this off. And I think I talked about that in my first video I ever did. This year we're gonna cut this out and clean the corner up and just make it nice and do some trim on it so that it can actually fit these tires going forward. Anyways, that's order of business number one, is taking care of the crappy old rusty running boards here. I can't wait to get that done. Step 2 and 3, or order of business number 2 and 3 in today's video, are going to come from inside the Delica here. So here on Vancouver Island, we have a lot of interesting drivers. That's where I'll leave it. And they do a lot of really stupid things. Now, if someone does something to you and they crash into you, it's really just your word against theirs, right? So it's nice to have proof of what happened. And so that's why we're going to install this little cheapy dash cam that I bought off Amazon a while ago. I was going to put it in one of my other vehicles and I just didn't, so I figured why not put it in the Delica. So we're going to add this today, and I feel like that's just going to give us some protection going forward in case something ever happens down the road. Plus, if you see something crazy and cool, it's nice to have a record of it. The thing I'm kind of most excited about, I mean, other than the paint on the running boards, to be honest with you, is I haven't had any music in this Delica since I bought it. My brother told me about this little tape thing that he had, so I went and found it and I tried to use that. You know, you put it in and it goes to like the aux. It just wouldn't accept the tape. The radio stations, like I said in the beginning, they don't work here in North America. You only get like one station and it's usually news. So I've had no music other than what I've been able to just play through my phone. And to be honest with you, I'm a music guy. I love music. So I finally broke down and I bought like the cheapest double DIN touchscreen Android Auto Amazon special media unit that I could find. So it's not a CD player, but it is like a Bluetooth, which is all I need right nowadays. So it's also got like navigation stuff. Reviews are pretty good. It was 200 bucks. So I'm looking forward to diving into the wiring here and trying to figure that out. Measurement wise, it should be perfect. It should actually fit and look really great in here. So that's what we're gonna do, guys. Dash cam, put in a new stereo. Looking forward to that. So let's get to it. We're going to start by taking out these running boards and having a look underneath the Delica. I'll see you guys underneath. Okay, move it. So I figured maybe some of you wanted to know what it looked like underneath here. So I'll give you a quick visual of what it looks like from front to back, and I'll go ahead and we'll start taking these running boards off. Well, there you go, guys. The first bolt sheared off inside. So it looks like we're going to be doing some drilling. Some drilling and some tapping before we can get this running board. Look how loose it is now. Some running board back on again. So whatever, we're into it now. So let's go ahead and take the rest of them off, and hopefully we don't break anymore. Oh, baby. Everything there. Safety glasses. Protect your oculars, guys. Oh, you're gonna break. Yeah, you're a fucking breaker for sure. You're gonna break. I can already tell that you're gonna break. Increments, guys. We got a little movement. Oh, it's braking pressure. Oh no, it's moving a little bit. Oh, a little bit. Oh, there it is. Oh, she snapped. We get a blood bolt too. No. Hey, Jose. It's not going so well, buddy. Not going so well. It's okay though. We'll get her. We'll get her. Stupid fucking thing. All right, we're deep into her now. machine. So if you know me, you know one of my favorite things is absolutely shearing off a bolt. The process in which to fix that is very easy, and I love doing it. I'm just kidding. That sucks. That's always a lot of work, but whatever, we're here now. So I'm gonna go ahead and spray the rest of those bolts with a penetrant like I did on these ones that didn't work. I didn't probably leave it long enough, but I'm gonna spray all those ones and let it sit for quite a while, maybe even spray it twice. And that might just ease with having to go ahead and fix more. But you know what, I've been aching to buy a new tap and die set, so this is a great excuse to do that. So hang on, Canadian Tire, here I come. I'm not going to show you the other ones because you get the gist of it, so we can just use this as a reference of how the rest of them are going to look at the end. So we'll let those ones soak. Oop, see you later, knee pad. And then we'll go ahead and we'll tackle those ones later, but we can go through the process of this one here. And this plastic piece should come off, and we'll wire wheel all this, degrease it, and then we're just going to bomb it. I'm not looking for anything pretty. I just want some nice black paint because I know they're going to get scuffed up or whatever, but it doesn't matter. The biggest thing is getting the rust off of it. So let's go ahead and get to it, guys. All right, guys, so while we're waiting for that to dry in the sun, I figured we'd jump in here and get a start on the interior stuff. So I just ripped apart the camera box here and was having a look at it. And, you know, it's just basic like this. Goes on the windshield, and you just kind of run the cable around the window and down. So I think the easiest thing to do, though, I have to take at least the center console piece out in order to get the old stereo out. So we should probably just go ahead and dismantle the dash as far as we need to first, and that'll make things easier when we run our cable down. So let's go ahead and rip this dash apart and see how it looks under there. So now this is all opened up. I see no issue at all with the new one going in there. I found a wiring diagram that shows what all these wires here go to. So this is gonna be a pretty easy install, I think. I hope, fingers crossed anyways. I figured now's a good time. Let's head back over and throw a coat of paint on that running board and see how it turns out. So we'll meet you back over there. Okay guys, so I've got it clamped on this side, holding it off the table, and I've got it resting on the tape on this side. So the idea is I want to be able to get to all the surfaces. There's one piece over here I'll have to touch up afterwards, but that's up underneath the vehicle, so I'm not worried about it. The biggest important piece is this big bar right here and these two bars right here. So I can get to that all good. So we're gonna go ahead and just start putting coats on, man. So I don't know how many coats it's gonna take, but I'm gonna do it till I'm happy with it, and we'll catch up when we're done, and hopefully it looks a lot better than it does right now, and I'm sure it will. There you have it, little movie magic. Got this done in the snap of a finger. Obviously it took me all day, but I'm very pleased with how it turned out. I will take them off again this summer when we get underneath and paint everything, but for now I'm happy. Obviously I can't put the driver's side back on until we get that tap and die kit, and that's going to be a whole other project in itself, but no big deal. We're at the end of the day now, guys. I'm filthy dirty. tired, exhausted, but we'll catch up in the morning and we'll carry on with the media and dash cam install. So we'll see you guys in the morning. Alrighty guys, it's the next afternoon and another beautiful afternoon here on Vancouver Island. So the first order of business today is going to be getting this dash cam installed. So I'm going to put it up, I think, behind the mirror here, somewhere up here. I want it so that I can obviously hit the button to save the video file. I don't care about seeing the screen as much as being able to just sort of quickly save a file. And I want it somewhere that's not bugging me when I'm driving. So I'm gonna power it up, hold it up, we'll figure it out, and then either gonna run it this way or this way, under here, down and around, and under the dash. And it's pretty straightforward, guys. If I come across something gnarly, I'll show you, but you get the idea. So I'll put a time lapse on, and the next time we catch up, we'll look at the finished product of this here little dash cam. All right, let's get to it. As you can see, we're done the dash cam install there, and that was super easy and super straightforward. The nice thing about these old Japanese vehicles is there's a ton of room underneath the plastic trim, and it moves around super easy. So we tucked it in the carpet up here, around the side, down here, under the dash, and as you can see, we just came out down here by the cigarette lighter. I mean, you could probably drill the hole and made it look a little bit better, but not much better than that. So we're pretty happy with that. Anyways, not wasting any time, we're gonna get right into installing this auto in-car Android entertainment system. Let's get it out of the box, see how it looks, and maybe we'll do a test fit here and see what we can expect when we're all done. All right, let's get into it. So let's just do a mock-up fit here and see how this is gonna look when it's sitting in here. So kind of something like that. That's gonna be pretty cool. I'm looking forward to having that in here. So let's just do a quick little talk about what I'm gonna do, and then we'll get straight into putting this in. There's a bunch of connections on here. You have to read the manual for whatever you're doing, but this part's the same for every instance. So we have the stock harness on the car here. This would have plugged into the back of the tape deck, obviously, and everything is where it's supposed to be. This one here, we know what each one of these wires do because it's in the manual 2 times, and it's written on here, and it's also written in this label around it. So we're not worried about identifying which one of these wires does what as far as speakers and power and ground is concerned. What we don't know is what's on this plug here. Now, if we didn't have any resources to know what they were, we could trace these wires by using tools and things like that, and it's a nightmare, and we don't have to do that. I got a pretty credible source there from one of the Delica forums, and I'm pretty sure what they say it is just based off of looking at the pins anyway. So we now know, we have a reference to what this is, and we know what this is here. So we have to make a splice between this and this. I'm going to hack the plug off about here, and that's going to allow me to use this harness in the future if for whatever reason I want to revert back to a stock stereo. You never know. So anyways, we're going to cut it off here, and I'm going to gain like 5 inches of room anyways by adding the new harness. So space or wire length isn't an issue. That's about it. Just make sure you know what you're doing. The biggest thing is once you put the stereo back in here, guys, all of this connection is going to be pushed and sort of muddled and could be cramped and squished back in here. So whatever you do, however you cut and splice this, make sure the connection is done good and protected. You don't want any shorts, or else you're gonna have a nightmare in your hand. So use a good connector with a shrink wrap capability, or solder and shrink wrap like I'm gonna do. If you have the ability to do that, that's obviously the best. Now I want to make sure that everything works before I go ahead and do that, so I'm going to do like a temporary splice and tape, and then we're going to see if everything works like it should and sounds good like it should, and if that's the case, then I'm going to go ahead and solder and get everything back in here. Now looking at the brackets that came with the new unit, they line up exactly with the existing holes, so that's awesome. Not going to do anything there. Pretty much identically the exact same size as the stock stereo, so we should be no issues. So that being said, guys, I'm going to get to cutting, get to splicing, and then when I'm all done, we'll catch up and we'll do a test fire on this thing. Hopefully we're looking good, man. Anyways, wish me luck, and cue time lapse. Before we get going here, I just want to say a couple of things. Number one is I went through and picked all the wires I'm going to need out of this bundle, and the ones I don't need I taped up here. Make sure that these are not shorted out underneath this, because you'll be in a world of hurt. Once this is plugged in, this is all going to somewhere, right? So we want to stop it off right here and make sure it's not going to get shorted out. Secondly, if you're going to use shrink wrap, make sure you pre-put on your shrink wrap, because once this connection's made, you're not going to be able to slip it over, right? So now we can make our connections and slide it up. Just another note, guys, make sure you disconnect your battery before you do any work on your car electrically. Just unplug it. It doesn't take any time at all, and you save yourself a potential world of hurt in the future. So always disconnect your battery. Anyways, let's go ahead and get this temporarily spliced in here, and then we'll plug it in. And man, hopefully we're laughing. I think we're going to be okay, though. Famous last words. Anyways, let's get to it. The ground has to get ran somewhere that obviously is ground to the chassis of the car. So when I was looking around, I looked in, and right here there was a bolt that had what I thought was a ground going to something. Turns out no, it was hacked off right here. I didn't have any big ends left, so I just went ahead and soldered and made my own connection here, and I had some extra cable laying around. So I've made my own ground. I'm going to run it back here around the back, tie it down to here, and then it's going to come out here, and that's going to go to this. If you don't ground it out, you can run everything. It's not going to power on, right? You need to complete the circuit. So that's one thing I thought I'd just point out to you guys. I found that interesting. Rather than try and run this little wire around the back and get it to here, I wouldn't have any room in here to work with. Alrighty, guys. Let's keep going with it. So, moment of truth, man. I got everything temporarily twisted at the back here, nothing shorted out. Power, ground, everything should be good to go, man. So I'm gonna go ahead and connect the battery, come up, we'll put the key in, we'll give it a try, and fingers crossed, hope for the best, guys. It's Christmas. I'm just gonna try and pair my phone to it here. You probably can't, like, I had to start it, but well, you know what I'll do? I'll just quickly use an audio cable. Okay. The only thing I really care about, guys, is the speakers. I can worry about the connection. Of course. Okay. Alright, guys, I'm gonna put on a little no copyright music here. As you can see, it's working. All the speakers are working. I'm happy. So I know that we're good to go to make our final connections, solder up, heat wrap, get this thing back into the dash. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now, and then we'll catch up when everything's finished and everything's put back together, and we'll take a look at our final results of this awesome project. I'm very pleased with how this turned out, though. Alrighty, guys, after lots of trial and error, we finally got this thing sitting here. We got the dash put back together, and it's working, and we're happy. So that was a bit of a nightmare to get it lined up, I'm not gonna lie to you. I had to make some modifications, file down the hole. It's sitting in here, it's looking good, it's working, the dash cam's working, the black running boards look good. The only thing that we really messed up on is snapping off those two bolts here for the driver's side running board. Now in the next video or the one after, I'm gonna wait till a tap and die set goes on sale. We're gonna see if we can't drill those old studs out and get some new bolts in there so we can get the running board put back on the driver's side. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for this week's video. I hope you enjoyed working the Delica with me, and if you did, please like and subscribe and stay tuned, because there's a lot more to do on this Delica, and I plan on taking you guys along with me all the way. So as always, guys, until the next time, take it easy. Cheers.